I kind of like, I got my art education through tattooing. You know, like I went to college like more for science and stuff, but so it was through tattooing and kind of just working with people on their tattoo ideas and kind of, you know, someone will come to me and with like an idea or like an emotion or like a, you know, like a vague concept, and then having to like interpret that and render it in you know, into a design or an image that communicates that. Obviously is kind of, you know, it makes sense for doing other collaboration projects where, you know, like working with like a fashion company or anything is the same as working with a tattoo client. Like the first like 5 years I was tattooing, I traveled a lot, and I was just really like hungry for as much knowledge as I could get about tattoo history, and just wanted to learn from as many people as I could. So, you know, I'd work in Tokyo with a lot of like, you know, these really amazing Japanese artists, and you know, then I'd go to Paris and work there with all of those guys. You know, I learned a lot from a lot of like Southern California, like Los Angeles, like tattoo style, you know, which is like really heavily influenced by Mexico and like Mexican culture. So it's a little bit of everything, you know. It's kind of like I've pulled bits and pieces from everyone I've ever worked with. Lights on, the stones on, backed up. And I don't know. It started, you know, like I was doing these kind of cutout images out of books and playing with like the content of the book with the image, and then one day I took a stack of money and just did it out of money, and it was instantly like it had such like a weight to it, you know, because I feel like dollars are such like a precious thing, you know. Like if you see somebody light a dollar bill on fire, you get this little panic. You're like, oh my God, yeah. So I think if you take all this money and you destroy it, you know, for the sake of making something beautiful, it really like forces people to like pay attention, you know. It's like, wow, like if this guy just destroyed all this money to say something, like I should pay attention to what he has to say. Yeah, I mean, they're around like between 400 and 500 $1 bills, and then the smaller ones, like each of those stacks is 100 $1 bills stick. So it's 100 $1 bills cut one by one, and then stacked together. I've never been in Mexico for Day of the Dead, but obviously like I've been like fascinated by it for a long time. I mean, I learned how to tattoo in California, and one of the guys who taught me was, you know, this Mexican guy named Juan Puente, and you know, so Mexican culture like influences tattooing in California like really heavily, you know. So it's all the people I learned from, you know, kind of like it came from this Mexican style. So it's amazing it's really exciting to like be here and like, you know, at like the origin, you know, and like the starting place, and you know, so a lot of this show is kind of like, you know, my interpretation of a lot of like the Day of the Dead imagery and everything. We're not gonna run. You know, it's like I never kind of sought out like, you know what I mean, like the fashion industry. I think I've kind of just gotten to be a part of it from being in New York, you know, and New York is such a center for everything that, you know, I have so many clients that work in the fashion industry and the art world that it's you know, if you're sincere about what you're doing, you know, like if you're really like, you know, anybody who's doing anything like new and exciting in any art form, you know, like the art world and the fashion world really like recognizes it and like picks it up and wants to be a part of it. So yeah, and then, you know, like, you know, obviously like working with Marc Jacobs a lot, and he's been like a dear friend and like client of mine for years. It's been great, you know, it's super inspiring, and it's definitely the one thing that like, you know, I write my parents about, and they're like, you know, like I ran off and like became this tattooed scumbag, you know, but now all of a sudden it's like I got my own Louis Vuitton bag, so it's like, okay, maybe you're not a screw up, you know. It's like maybe that tattoo thing was a good idea. Yeah. I'm much more critical of the tattoos that I do than of the tattoos that I get. I mean, most of my tattoos, like, most of them are done just by like people that I love, you know, like people that I've worked with over the years and people that I connect with. You know, some of them are tattoo artists, some of them aren't tattoo artists. They're just, you know, people that I'm close to. Hello, Marvin TV. Thanks for coming out.